We're live. Oh my goodness. Hello.
So we are
Hold on.
still fussing just a little bit with some camera work.
All right.
Just
So
not quite happy.
it's a
with.
special time for us. I'm sorry. This was like really quick that we decided to do it at this time today. It snowed in Michigan here today. Everybody probably
first time
has
it got a decent chunk of.
Yeah, everybody might be having a snow day. So we decided to go live early today, so you'll be able to watch this later on at the normal time if you want. But we decided to go live early so that I can go home.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yep. So we thought we would talk about the differences
In Shank.
Shank. So
And why it matters.
yeah, people call and they ask for feet or they ask for attachments for the machine. And we ask them, do you know if your machine is a high shank or a low shank?
And the answer is usually nope.
Nope. Yes. So we thought that we would give you some information today on how to discover which is your machine, and if it's a brother or a baby lock, how
Do you
to
want to
tell.
come say hi?
My mouth is locked.
Except for they just heard you. Do you want your mic today?
Oh, that's not my mic. This one's my mic.
That's okay. I've been doing all the talking.
I was fussing with the.
Yeah. Well, don't pull the camera down.
Whoopsie.
Sorry, guys.
Lots of cord.
Right. All right. So I see some people are joining us this morning. Or actually, it's not this morning anymore.
It is
It's
a little
early
bit of afternoon, but it's very early afternoon.
It is very early for us. A couple hours.
we've got some different stuff here to show you guys. Show you what it looks like different on the machines themselves, and then we'll talk about some feet that are very important to know whether you have a high or a low shank.
Yeah.
And
Shank you.
I'll shank you too.
Oh, that's so cute. You're welcome.
Thanks, Ann.
That was cute.
That's very cute. So we've got a few different things here that we're going to show you.
Yeah.
Did you do any sewing this weekend?
I did. Well, I did sewing. It wasn't fun sewing. I mean, it was like utilitarian sewing, right? I was sewing up the samples and doing the videos for my foot fetish class tomorrow.
But you have your sewing room pretty much back to organized.
I was gonna post a picture, and but it's still a little messy for me.
Yeah, I just live in messy, so
to do it.
It's
I'm still waiting for the inserts, but the cabinets are they're down, and all of my B girls have a place now.
B girls. It's her singing group.
Yeah,
the B girls.
my little singing group. When I turn on the light switch over by the machines, they all come on at the same time, so they do kind of sing.
Oh.
They all have
well,
their
there
own
you
little
go.
unique
That's
music,
perfect,
right? So
absolutely.
I played on all of them a little bit just to make sure
to
that
see that they were at the right place.
Yeah, that the cabinets were working, and then I had everything plugged in.
Nothing fell to the floor.
No, and with the cabinets having the electric lifts, there's a lot of plugs. So yeah, there was a lot more than I thought there were going to be. I mean, I could count, but clearly I didn't.
two for every cabinet instead of one.
Yes. So one cabinet.
That multiplication by 2 is very difficult.
Right. Well, it is because one cabinet doesn't have a lift. The Triumph cabinet doesn't. So
no,
I needed 7, and of course every plug bar that I own is 6. So yeah. So we figured it out though.
It's always fun.
I was laughing because Dave was helping me, and I'm like, we're probably not fire marshal compliant here.
Is that important in a home? I mean, I know it is in a business, but I mean, there's just safety.
Safety, yes.
Having had a house fire, that's I'm sure much higher on your mind than on the average Joe.
Right. Except for the fact that my house was hit by lightning, which is what caused the fire. So, it's funny you think about things, but I'm like, it wasn't caused by
We didn't do anything.
It wasn't caused by malice. It was caused by Mother Nature. She was having a moment.
Yes, your little screwdriver moments.
My screwdriver moment.
Someday you guys will understand that joke, but it's not going to be today. So, all right.
How about you?
Yeah, I made a lot of patches this weekend.
Yeah, are you getting close to the end?
I have 3 left.
Ooh, you are.
And I was just like, let's just get them done. And I'm looking at the clock, and it was 10:45, and I was like, I can't. It's going to be another hour to do those 3, and
Yeah.
I got to go to sleep. I mean, I was literally like, so I still have 3 to go, and
Okay.
I was going to do them last night, but Caitlin was at my parents', which meant it was just me by myself at home, and my dogs don't like it when I'm upstairs, and I'm the only one there. They sit at the bottom of the steps and
Yeah.
bark and growl at each other and you name it.
Yeah.
It's not a relaxing moment at all. So no, I didn't sew last night, but hopefully tonight.
Yeah, I had a couple of retakes on the videos this weekend because all 3 cats came to visit at one point in time, which was hysterical because Felix, he is not a cuddly cat except for when it's completely
Inconvenient for you.
I was literally almost at the end of the video. He jumped up, the camera almost fell on the floor.
over.
It went, sliding this way, and then all of a sudden he was just on my lap. And then
Well, that sounds like fun.
Right. And so
I don't think your viewers would have minded.
right, except for the whole seasick part. If I could edit the video, it would
Right.
be great. And then so he was the first one, and then once he was done, he went and bothered Dave for a little while, and then Wayne's cat, the new cat, Miss Kitty, she just is so funny. She doesn't really do anything except for stand behind me and make these funny little, like, they're almost like bird calls. She's got this weird little meow thing, and it was hysterical. And I'm like, what is that? And I look down and she's like right there. She's like, can you pet me? And I'm like, okay, so take 2. And then the blind cat gets something. She loves the echo of the basement. And so she was standing way far away from me, but it was just echoing. And I was like, I said to Dave, he's like, I'm not the one making the noise.
My oldest is
because your dogs do that, right? They stand at the base of the stairs.
Yes,
and
they do. And bark and whine and howl. And my oldest is, gosh, what is he, 13? And I'm talking dogs, not kids.
Right.
And he's going blind. He's got you can just see it, when you look in his eyes, they're not good. But it's funny, you don't usually notice it until odd times when he's like looking for something on the floor, like you give him a treat and he's totally in the wrong spot, or you accidentally, and it is an accident, I don't feed my dog, drop food, and they're down there looking for it. And I'm like, can't you smell it? Well, he can't smell ice. There's
right.
no, and they like ice, but he can't find ice anymore.
Oh, poor thing.
It's sad, but it's also super cute.
Yeah. It's amazing how resilient animals are.
They learn and they adapt and they make what they need. I mean, he still runs around.
Yeah.
Like he's, a 2-year-old puppy.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just funny.
She does too. It's like, I think she kind of counts her steps some places because like she's always trying to avoid the other cat. And so she like stops, and then you kind of see her like looking around, and then she bolts like
into a wall.
Into the doorway. It is. It's
I'm
like
sorry,
a little,
that was really mean.
No, it's funny. It's like a little. It's like and Dave, of course, he's a rearranger. So
he messes with her.
Yes. So I try to keep the one path really normal.
That is one thing we don't do in our house.
Yeah, I wish sometimes I wish I could say that, but
it's I have a huge sectional in the family room, and
only goes one place.
We had it on the other side. It didn't work. So it works actually really well where it's at right now, and it's not going to move.
Yeah.
So when we redid the floor, we literally moved everything 20 million times, and it was like, okay, where is it going to end up? Because it's not going to move once we're done. This is going to be it. So, yeah, it's a huge piece of furniture it's a good size room, but it needs to be just a little bit bigger. But
the room, not the sectional.
The room. Well, it's funny because you can actually. It wasn't a sectional that we bought. We bought the sections. We said, okay, we want that one. We want that one. We want a little cup holder.
Yeah.
Split thing here. And I'm like, I feel like we bought too many sections. It does. I don't think Jeff's like, oh, it's going to fit. And I'm like, if we didn't want to use the stairs to go upstairs, we can block that off. And it was entertaining. When we first brought it home, he was like, oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought.
I remember that.
It was entertaining.
Yes.
So, it stands to reason why this is 6 inches.
Right.
right?
Right.
You guys think about it.
Right.
You'll get it. Okay. So let's talk turkey.
Yeah.
I have to show you something super cute. So
Yeah. That is
Yeah.
really cute.
I dragged it over here. Sarah, I didn't ask. I just dragged it over here.
I saw
So
you coming though.
I put one of our new chairs together yesterday. And then I opened
Yeah, we got new chairs and new
chairs,
cabinets.
new cabinets, and they're on the floor. So we're
Mhm.
the chairs come flat packed, so we have to build them. Which I got one built yesterday, but then I just had to open up the
Mhm.
fun fabric.
I love this
So
fabric. I have actually
this
some of it at home.
Is
So
a
this
new
is
chair. This is the back.
back.
So back here. But is it not adorable? So we've got zippers and machines, and I have the chair base because you can see the fabric a little clear.
Mhm.
But it's just
So
stinking cute.
SEW cute.
Very good explanation. And let's see if I can not kill. So this is the chair base. You can see the sewing machine, the buttons, the zippers, all this fun, very, very adorable. Do you want to point anything else out that I can't see?
No, I was just gonna pull it up just a little bit out. I know it's kind of
So-
probably a little awkward and heavy, and then it opens, right? Oh yeah. It's
So
always on the
all
wrong
of
side,
them,
right?
It is always. All of them have
Yeah. Storage.
storage in the base of the seat. But this is just super, super cute fabric. We also ordered some solid colors, and we did order buttons, but the buttons are on back order. So
Yeah.
we've got one more chair coming with buttons. We've got this guy here that you guys can check out.
Mhm.
And super cute.
Yeah, they are very cute, very adorable.
We've got some really sharp looking cabinets in here to put them in front of.
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
inserts came yesterday, so we're almost showroom ready.
Yes.
Crazy thoughts,
We
right?
are thinking we were gonna show you cabinets today, but we weren't quite.
Yeah, the inserts aren't all in place yet.
So
So
maybe next week we'll do like a cabinet demonstration. We'll show how cool
how
it
the
is
inserts work and,
Yeah.
and
and the different
electric
styles.
lifts when
Yeah,
they have them.
we're really
Some
excited.
really cool stuff. And so hello to everyone who's popping in. Yeah, we knew that the numbers would be low, but you'll find us later.
Yes.
So
All right.
it is the phone has been ringing quite a bit today,
Mhm.
but we haven't had one person come
Right.
into the store
Yeah.
other than our mail lady, which is the one we like.
Yes.
So,
She had great timing.
she had perfect
Someone
timing.
called for something to be shipped out, and I was able
and
to.
yeah,
just-
she grabbed it literally
pass
like
it,
boom
right?
right away.
That
So
never
that was really
happens.
nice. But
I know
so
someone's gonna think we're really efficient.
wasn't us. Sorry. Just great timing on everybody's part for a
Right.
change. But yeah, so I'm gonna kick Sarah out of here and have her go home when we're
Yeah.
done with this. So
I
move
think
it up a
everybody
little
would
bit.
think that the whole electric vehicle thing is hysterical. So
It is
I
a
just
little
I just
entertaining.
think that you can just laugh a little bit, right? So my husband works for the city of Ann Arbor. He's an inspector. And Ann Arbor is really big on going green, which again, it's
Nothing
a
wrong
great
with
thing.
it.
Nothing
It's a
wrong
great,
with it.
yeah, absolutely.
So they got new vehicles, and his new vehicle is a Chevy Bolt. So it's 100% electric. It's not a hybrid. It's just electric. And the last time it snowed a little bit,
he had like 2 inches in Ann
right?
Arbor.
He was like, I couldn't get up anybody's driveway because everybody's driveway just has a little bit of incline.
Just an incline.
And so last night when it was snowing, David's phone started dinging like about 8:00 with people going, "There's no way this is gonna work. There's no way this is gonna work." And so we drove into the city today, and Dave's like, "I couldn't even get out of the lot." He's like, "We all got stuck before we
Yeah,
even
even
got
left
out
anywhere.
of the lot." So they
Canceled
canceled
up, okay?
the
Yep.
because he's like, I could do it in my personal vehicle. But they were like, no, that they
We
don't
don't
want you
do
to
that.
do that. So so there, and I was like, well, how come it's just so bad? And I didn't realize there's zero
Transmission in those cars.
It's just electronic, so it just shifts, right? It's basically battery
It's like a
operated.
moped.
Yeah. So since he's done and we drive in together, we thought we would do this a little bit earlier.
I'm being nice.
She isn't she great? She's so we work so well together.
We do. We really
So
do.
he doesn't have to wait until.
I know I told you,
4:30.
but I probably haven't told, my dad had popped on the last
Yeah,
time
we were
on,
talking about.
and we talked about it afterwards. He was like, "You guys sure look like you have fun. Do you guys have that much fun when you're at work and not live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, most of the time, yeah, we do." So, yeah, it's a fun thing to come to work, but I've got things I can do.
Yes. And it'll
So
be quiet.
and it'll be
So we have classes tomorrow. It's not too late to sign up. Foot fetish
Nope.
is in the morning at 9:30. We'll talk about piping feet. The videos are up. So I mean, not that I'm discouraging you from joining me. I'll have some fun coupon code
didn't
for
see
you to
that?
get a discount on your piping feet if you need to get those. But I did post the videos this morning. Snowballs. Yeah.
We can come
Balls.
up with something. Yeah.
But we will have videos. The nice thing about the Zoom video is if you do get a chance to watch the video ahead of time and you have questions, I'm always there to answer the questions. We'll be watching the videos and then we'll be doing some answer question things. So it's a pretty low key class. We usually have a pretty good time. It's on Zoom. Sometimes it's like I'm talking to myself because it's just
nobody
black
wants
pictures.
to share video at 9 o'clock in the
Right,
morning.
9:30. So
You know, I hadn't put my face on anyway, but I haven't put my face on
so
yet.
that's tomorrow and Saturday, and Lisa's scan and cut class
It's
is
also tomorrow and Saturday, but mine's at close.
yes.
So 5 o'clock tomorrow and
and
then 3
3.
o'clock on Saturday. And this month is free. There's no charge. We're not actually going to be creating anything.
Mhm.
We're going to be
You're
talking
creating
about.
something.
I've created a lot, which is what I got. I've got a couple things. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and going, oh, you didn't put this in there. So I'm adding one other piece into the notes. But again, it's not too late. You can certainly sign up whenever. I'm going to email the link out tonight before I go home for the Zoom class. And in that email, there will also be the instructions that I've been writing up. So basically, we're going to go through the notes and then you guys can add or whatever you would like. So we're going to be talking about Canvas Workspace, which is the free software that Brother puts out to basically have not this big of a screen, but however big your computer screen is instead to work and create programs.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And for anybody who's catching us now or catching us later, I thought this would be interesting because we get a lot of questions on photo stitch. Cindy over at Cynthia's Embroidery, she's going to be doing a little thing on photo stitch today. So hers is at like 5:15 ish.
Okay.
So it's usually right after we have our normal 4:15, 5:15.
In there somewhere.
Yeah, time distance. But anyways, go over to Cynthia's Embroidery and take a peek at it. She's going to do a fun little photo stitch thing.
I know there's cords everywhere.
We have cords everywhere. It's amazing that we haven't strangled ourselves.
Or knocked over a camera due to.
Right.
Yeah, it was close there a minute ago. But
yeah, tell her we said hello and we sent you over there if she's wondering.
Photo stitch is so cool.
It really is.
It is a really, really neat program. And there have been a lot of companies who have tried to do that.
Yes.
No one comes close to the Brother PE Design or Baby Lock.
My watch is telling me to breathe. Apparently, I was holding my breath.
Mine's not telling me anything.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's this afternoon. So, if you need something to do in the afternoon, since we won't be entertaining you,
something to watch while you're prepping dinner or whatever.
Absolutely. Sneak over there.
She's, even if you just want to listen to her voice,
I know
she
she's
has the
so
greatest
cute.
accent. It's adorable to listen to. So,
yeah.
It's kind of like my nephews. We used to ask them questions just to hear them talk because they were so stinking cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that little southern draw.
It's funny because it's not the same.
No.
Southern draw everywhere. There, she's Tennessee.
Yeah.
And my kids' cousins, my nephews are Virginia, which is close to the same.
Yeah.
Drawl.
But
they're just so adorable.
Yeah.
To listen to.
All right. So
let's get to it.
Let's talk about shakes.
Not shakes. Just to clarify, we haven't shaved down any spoons or anything to that nature. She did have a stiletto out earlier. I was a little concerned. I was like, you're not mad at me for any reason, are you? Because you've got a weapon there. So
I even closed it.
She did. So that's the only reason I'm sitting here. Because I was like, you close that or I'm going to have to sit a little farther away from you.
Shakes a lot.
Shakes. Wow.
Okay.
So Hayden is over there. He's got some of the new pillow stitched.
Oh, okay.
He's working on that. So there was a new
Kimberbell.
It's called Annika, which is what I was trying to come up with. It's not Anita. It's Annika.
Yes.
and it's throw pillows. So for those of you who participated in our stitch along
The Bella
for the
box.
Bella box, the chenille pillows,
Mhm.
they actually have a design pack.
It's
now
cute.
it is very, very cute. There's chevrons, polka dots, and flowers. And he's doing polka dots.
Mhm.
So he's over there stitching away.
Yeah, so
So-
we'll definitely be showing that for
Next
sure
next time
week.
we'll have that prepped, and
Mhm.
well, he'll have that prepped.
We probably would have been a little further had we been at our
had
normal
it been
time, but
we had 3 more hours to stitch, then yeah,
I had to be difficult.
because it's so new. High maintenance. So
Hi,
hello,
Marilyn.
Mom. Oh, I thought that said Mary.
No.
See, the glasses are here, but hi, Marilyn. I can say that too.
Yeah, you're not late. We're early.
Yeah, we're very, very early.
All right, but you're just in time
So-
for the good stuff, right?
The good stuff.
So Shanks.
Oh Lord.
That's so
Okay.
funny. We can't stop.
So
being
we
funny.
are sitting in front of the Baby Lock Solaris. There are many, many more low shank machines than there are high shank machines.
Yes.
So what you are going to be seeing on camera here is a high shank. So we can see what that looks like, and then we'll explain what the difference is between the two. Are we splitting?
I was like, we each have like half a face in there.
Okay, so here is, I'm going to knock over this camera. So I'm going to let you point because
All right.
it's just going to get ugly here in a minute.
And I'm going to make the other camera wide in just a second, but I just wanted to point out we'll be showing the stuff sort of not on the machine here.
Mhm.
But the one that we have on here, this is the high shank. So and we're going to talk a little bit about that, and I'm going to show you the differences, but that is I still have my piping foot on there. So I'm going to make the fun camera here. I keep hitting the wrong button today. It's like
it's not time. You don't know what to do.
right. It's been
Solo layout.
there we
Ta-da!
Yay.
So again, this one is a high shank,
Mhm.
which if you see the 2 ankles and standard J feet there,
So I'm gonna stick this right over here so you can kind of see the difference, and I'm gonna put the foot down. That'll
put the
make
foot down. That'll help. Wake it up.
wake it up.
It's
Oh,
oh dear. Hold that thought.
yeah, I can't do it in the back either. Okay,
Are you gonna push that?
I
or-
am.
All right. We have a small camera move here. So sorry.
We weren't prepared. We're waiting a while.
I was thinking that you had already done this,
I
but
thought
then
I already
you
did too.
put the embroidery arm on and that reset.
I did. All right, so we just need to get our table square
So
here.
sorry, guys. How far did you get?
Okay, now we're back. Okay,
Okay.
so now we can have the foot down. Now I got to play foot Jenga again. All right, so we have high shank and low shank, and so here, if you can see where the screw is,
Maybe stiletto actually would have helped
it
here.
probably. Let's point with that. Let's get my sharp utensil out again.
But remember, no shanking.
No shanking. All right. So right here, this piece here is the screw. All right. And on this foot here, because it's high shank, the screw is up here. On a low shank machine, which would be way down here. All right. So you can see there's a difference.
There's about a ½ inch at least, maybe even a little bit more.
Yeah. And so how you,
Actually down?
yes, it is down.
No.
It's down. It just wasn't all the way down. It was on the pivot part. So but anyways, you can still see here, right? This is the part that you would screw here's where the screw would be on this foot, and here's where the screw is on here. So there's a big difference. So on our big machines, like the oversized machines, I think that's probably the easiest way to explain
Yep.
it, right? If your machine has like the probably
11 and a
11 or
quarter,
was it
or
maybe
big.
10 before? Has it always been 11
11
or
and a
more?
quarter inch throats are bigger.
Okay.
As the high shank.
You're gonna, and you have a brother or a baby lock machine. You are going to have a high shank machine. The great thing about having a high shank machine with baby lock and brother is that all of the high shank machines that I know of also come with a low shank adapter.
Correct. Which
And
looks like
The low shank adapter is this little guy here.
she's
And
playing with her
I
shanker.
am. I was playing. It wasn't in all the way. So that's this guy right here.
So it looks like a little piece of metal with a bend in it.
right?
And there are multiple screw holes on the sides.
And this
there's a
part right
place
here.
for your needle bar to go inside right at the
That's
top.
not your needle bar.
Not your needle. That's not what I meant to say.
No.
Wow.
This is where your presser foot, so the bar here.
That's the bar
where
I
your-
meant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not
your
the needle bar.
Mm-mm.
But
So
that's what I was looking at.
it's totally what she was looking at. So anyways, so you take this screw off and this guy slides on over top of that. And then that makes your high shank machine a low shank machine. So if you have one of these fancy machines and you need to buy an accessory, you don't have to be as particular.
Right.
It doesn't really matter if you have a low shank or a high shank. One of the cool things about that is so we have a ton of machines that are low shank.
Right.
And so if you want to buy an accessory that maybe will work on both of your machines,
You can do that. You can purchase the low shank one. And since you have the adapter for your high shank, you have the ability to make that foot work on either machine
Right.
rather than having to buy two.
yes.
So there are, I would say, a lot more low shank add-on fees than
Yeah.
there are high shank because there's so many more machines. This is one of the feet that Tony keeps in the back. It is called a darning foot. It is basically a free motion quilting foot. You can use it for darning, of course, but
Right.
that is what that's there for. And these are low shank. So if you have that high shank machine, your foot's going to sit way too high for you to actually get a good stitch. So
Yeah.
you would put that adapter on, it's going to sit right where it's supposed to and just hover over your fabric instead of have that half inch above. So that's just one example of an add-on foot that you can get that's generally a low shank foot.
Yeah. And so, like, again, this is a high shank foot and this is a low shank foot. And while this one does have a pretty big opening in there, there we go.
You can see that there's lots more space on the one on the right.
Yes.
So that means that you can go up much higher, hence the high shank.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you have a lot more
Wiggle room.
wiggle room. That's a really good choice of words.
So that foot on the right is a ruler foot.
Yes.
So let's talk about ruler feet for a little bit. That is probably one of the most important to get. Woo, it took a minute, but we got there. So that one that she's showing is an open toe, which basically just means it's got that groove opening in the front. And it is high shank, as we just talked about. Ruler feet are designed to specifically sit a center needle position, a 1/4 inch all the way around that circle. And the reason that is important is because it's going to ride on that ruler. So we do have, a couple, which I can't show you on that camera.
No, we'll have to switch to the other one to show you.
But they do also come in little bags, zipper bags, with
So let's
the information.
pull
I'm going to
that
go ahead and open
out.
that.
Yeah.
This actually said it's a long arm template, so it's completely separate, but it's the only one that we had open
Loose,
and
yeah.
loose in the store that I can show you. So how this is going to work is you're going to have your fabric underneath, and your foot is literally going to ride in that groove. And that is how you get that stitch in that specific shape by using those rulers. Is your stitch is going to be a 1/4 inch inside or outside, depending upon
Right.
what direction you're going, so that it's always going to be consistent. And it's important that you have the correct high shank or low shank because
Right. Oh, I threw all the feet out the back. So when the machine is kind of bumping up and down and it's stitching, what we want to make sure is that that
my
ruler
bad.
doesn't have the ability to slide underneath or over top of the foot. So if I were using a foot like this and I accidentally moved this, I could really easily get my ruler over top of the edge of that foot. And then what would happen is I would actually stitch right through my ruler.
Guess what? Don't want to do that.
And I'm not going to get very many stitches. First of all, I'm going to ruin my needle. Secondly, I'm going to probably ruin my ruler. And I might really damage my machine depending
Quite
on
possibly
on
what else is going on.
what else is going on. So that is like the difference between the style of feet. So when we're doing quilting or when we're doing ruler work, it's really important to know if I have a high shank or a low shank so that we get you the appropriate foot for your machine.
Right. And then there are also high shank and low shank rulers.
Yes.
So the height of the ruler itself here can vary dependent upon what machine that you are using.
Yes.
Sometimes it's more than others. We've had multiple different companies that we've ordered rulers and had different ruler events with. But that is also something to keep in mind. You don't want to have the smaller ruler.
Yes.
Because
again, the foot can slide.
The foot can slide right over it.
Or underneath it, or it can slide over top of the foot. So that's really important.
Very important that you're matching up
right.
the sizes on both of those things. I would say out of all of these things, because of the adapter, those ruler feet are the most important. And where you can use an adapter for your ruler foot, it's really not recommended. I do recommend having a high shank ruler foot if that's what you're doing.
Yes. If that's the only machine you have. But again, if you have multiple machines,
you can get away with it.
You can certainly get away with it. The reality is you would most likely be doing it on the machine with the most space. But
which is going to be your high
It's going to be your high shank. But it is nice to know that you can certainly make it work.
Yep.
And the other thing is sometimes people don't do ruler works all the time. So if it's something that you're dabbling in, by all means, you can definitely
get the piece that you're going to be able to use the most.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
The other thing that I see that people make the second biggest mistake with is walking feet. Most of the walking feet, with the exception of the digital dual feed foot, are low shank. And so I can't tell you how many phone calls that I have received with somebody who put the
a low shank walking foot
on their high shank machine
and doesn't understand why it doesn't work.
Right. And I always think, wow, it's really hard to do that because there's a lot of pieces that aren't there when you take off that whole piece, so it doesn't fit on really nicely. So I always applaud them.
They had to fight pretty hard to get that foot on there.
Yeah, you worked really hard. I'm really sorry.
You may have said some 4-letter words while you were doing that.
Yeah, but it does happen, and that can be a little bit frustrating. So most of the walking feet on the market are designed for low shank. And if you have one of these fancy high shank machines, you're going to need this little adapter. And they're really inexpensive. I want to think it's like $14, $14.95,
yeah, somewhere in
$12.95.
that range, probably the $12.95. But honestly, unless you've lost it because you didn't know what it was and thought that it was unimportant,
right?
Your machine probably came with it.
Yes.
So it was probably going to be in that small plastic white envelope of miscellaneous parts.
Right.
Is a very good chance that's where it's hitting.
Or possibly still stuck to a foot that you used it on last.
That's always a possibility.
Yes.
So shank is very important. Not so much from a stitch quality standpoint at all, but making sure that you have the right attachments on your machine.
Yes, because that is definitely, if you have a high shank machine and you put a low shank walking foot on, when you put your foot down,
it's not going to go down.
It doesn't. No, it's kind of like free motion quilting.
It's going to hover over top of that fabric instead of actually grab hold of that fabric and pull it through.
Absolutely.
So it's even worse than not having a walking foot at all, because there's absolutely no pressure, not even the little bit your standard J foot or whatever would put on it.
Right.
There's no pressure on the top because it just can't reach it.
And we aren't saying that there are only two types of machines. So there's not just a high shank and a low shank.
No, there's this thing called special.
Right. And Singer makes a slant shank. And then like Pfaff has a special shank. And then we also have snap-on feet that are screw-on and that snap-on, which I don't really understand if it's a screw-on, why it's a snap-on, but it is.
Just to confuse
That's
somebody.
right. So we technically have high shank and low shank snap-on.
Yes.
And the majority of our accessory feet, with the exception of like the big things like the walking feet, they're darning feet, so specialty items, our feet are snap-on. So they have the little bar underneath, and they snap on and off, and that is how they go on. So again, pending I have the correct ability to have the right ankle on. So if we take the foot off of this here, sometimes it's a little easier to see the height distance of, or the size difference of the ankles. So I can't.
You can see that one on the
quite-
left. Oop,
Oh,
here.
it's hard to get your hand.
Your
angled.
hand in
Why
the
am
right
I trying
spot.
to do this? Why don't I just hold them like this? I'm
That's
making this much more difficult
Just
than it
maybe
needs
a
to
little
be.
bit.
Wow, it's really hard to find the camera. Here's
So that one is
camera,
the high shank.
and
And then
I just
well,
can't do it. Oh my
so-
god, it's so backwards.
and in case you guys aren't seeing this, these snap-on feet are the same. So the high shank and the low shank ankle is irrelevant to the snap-on foot that it's going on to.
Yes.
It is getting, you have to make sure that this piece is the correct piece because these are the same.
Right, there we go. So now they're kind of together, but then you can see the difference in the height. So again, high shank, low shank, the same foot goes on them. So just to make it a little bit more confusing.
You know, not to confuse you more instead
Right.
of less.
Right. So that's really what makes the ankles so different. Oh, maybe that will be a better. I'm just gonna keep trying to.
Angle them so that you guys can see. It's the screw hole that you're really looking for
Oh,
here.
there we go.
So the screw hole for this one here is literally right here.
Yes.
We're all the way up here on this ankle there. So it's literally like a good half-inch
Yep.
difference between those two.
Oh, there's a screw hole, and there's the screw hole. So there we go. That's a good way of seeing it. So, like we said, down here and
Versus way up
up
there.
here.
So again, the ankle is what's important. So if you lose,
I just totally poked stand myself with the stiletto.
I thought maybe you did.
No
better-
blood.
Better you than me. But the ankle is very important in this instance because all of those snap-on feet are irrelevant to which type of machine you have. Those are going to be the same. It's that ankle that is super, super important.
Yep.
So when you come in, you say, I can't find my ankle, I need a new one. That's why we ask you what kind of machine you have, because there are very many
Right.
different options that we could, well, there's only two options, but it's easy to give you the wrong one if we don't know what
Have
machine
the
you
right
have.
description of your machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can't remember the machine name, try to remember whether or not you're high shank or low shank. And
Or better yet, take a picture.
yeah,
We love pictures. Pictures make our life so much easier.
right.
Do you remember what machine you have? No, but I have it in my phone. Fantastic.
We'll even help you find it.
We will absolutely, you just get that puppy open with your eyes or your whatever, because of course your mask makes the facial
Recognition
recognition
not work.
not work.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are really happy to work with pictures because that actually really can really help.
Yes.
Like really,
Yeah.
because I didn't say really enough yet.
Really enough.
Really.
So, brother and baby lock, we have high shank and low shank, and I don't think that they have ever had anything else besides high shank and low shank.
I don't think so. There might have been one really
Long time ago.
long
way
something
before
weird
us.
ago. Yes. I remember the first time we did a ruler event here. We just had Gene standing there. What's this one? What's this one? What machine? Okay, this is the machine. What shank is it? And he'd be like, low, high, low. It was just like, I have no idea. Yeah. But after a while, you kind of start figuring it out. But
Yeah.
I feel like there was a special, but I can't tell you whether that was a brother or baby lock or whether they happen to have a different brand machine.
Yeah.
So I certainly know we've ordered special type.
Yeah.
But I couldn't tell you what it was for
Yeah.
at this point. That was years ago. So
Well,
sorry.
and the dirty little secret about a lot of machine brands is that they oftentimes do have an ankle that you can use with snap-on feet. So even the elusive Bernina people, they have two of them. And because there's two different styles of snap-on feet. So there's two different versions that you can have. And I used to use one because I had a bunch of, I worked for Viking, so I had a whole bunch of Viking feet. Apparently I've had a foot fetish for my machines for a long time. It's not new.
I'm sorry, did you not know that? I could have told you that. And I'm laughing. I'm like, oh, look at that. I brought that foot home. Why do I have that?
Apparently
I
it's,
must have watched something that I thought, well, that's cool. Let's get that one. And then I forget
Right? Wouldn't it be great if you could like tape a video to the foot? Like you can tape a sticky note, but if you could just like tape the video to it so that when you go to use it, you just hit the little
Just hit
sticky
the button.
note.
You go, oh yeah, that's what this is for.
That would
Someday.
be great, right?
Someday.
Yeah, someday you'll be able to touch your sticky note and it'll display everything that
I
you
did
need.
finish a book this weekend.
That's
It's set in the future. It's set in 2060.
Did they have like playable
They have
sticky notes?
Yeah, they do. They're called memo cubes in the
Oh,
book,
see?
and you can record or video, and then
Uh-huh.
when they push it, it pops up the little
There you go.
holographic or whatever.
Thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You could have a holographic
It's my
SNL.
favorite book series. Oh, God.
People could play us before bed.
Yay. Whoa, that's scary.
Oh, don't do that.
Don't do that.
You'll have bad dreams.
Like
Oh.
us, 2:00 in the morning. Oh, crap!
God, what? I forgot
What
to do
I
this for
forgot
work.
to do this.
I know.
It's terrible, but yeah. So if you're looking for a good book series, great book.
Did you say the book series?
I'm trying to. It's the In-Depth series, and they're all about Eve Dallas, and they are written by J.D. Robb, who is a pseudonym for Nora Roberts. Love them. There's like 60 of them. There's a ton of books. She comes out with a new one every February and September.
Oh, so the next pandemic, you will have your
You'll have
you'll be
you'll
covered.
never have to leave the house. Just read. Yes, they're.
Oh God, let's hope there's enough. Let's hope this one
This is it,
eventually
and-
ends, and we don't ever have. I mean, we'll know what to do.
We will totally know what to do.
What are we?
Though
gonna do
I
with-
think I'm going to burn my mask
I was
when I
just
don't
gonna
have
say,
to
is
wear
everybody
them
gonna have a
anymore.
bonfire?
Did you see Jeff came and got all of the? He didn't get the huge pallets,
The
but he got
pallets.
all the rest of them.
Yeah.
So yes, we have bonfires in our backyard quite often.
Yeah.
Huge fire pit.
Yeah, we have more than one fire pit.
Well,
One
we have a burning
far,
barrel
far.
out back.
Yeah.
But the actual tiled and bricked and whatnot fire pit, which is not kidding, about 5 feet by 5 feet.
That's nice size.
It's massive.
Yeah,
Yes. Pallets make nice kindling. You
they
just
do.
Burn them a little bit. And
Mhm.
they go up.
We had our first.
We had our
for the
first
day.
customer at 1:12 in the afternoon.
Oh yeah,
what a day.
that's pretty amazing that she braved the
Yeah. She
All of
really
the-
wants her machine
all of
repaired.
the warning signs that every county is issuing that says stay
Don't
at home.
go.
My mom told me to call him last night.
Well, my husband, you're going to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going to work.
Ironically, it wasn't a bad. I mean, once I
got off the back road,
yeah,
it was fine.
yeah. Even my
Mine's not a very back road like yours, but
But they plow the street in front of my house, and then they plow basically Michigan Avenue all the way from my house into almost Chelsea when we get on the expressway. So it really wasn't a bad. We did see the instant karma happen. The truck that flew by me. 2 minutes later, he was in the ditch. So I mean, why?
why?
He's
You're not going to
late
get
now.
there that much faster, and guess what? Now you're not going to get there at all. So
Right.
yeah, no, my husband says, Jeff says, well, don't veer off into the unplowed section or you're going in. Okay. So,
Yeah.
the paths for 2 lanes,
Right.
it's like almost not enough.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, here's a car's coming. Slow down, switch over just enough.
Yeah.
Speed back up to 20.
Back up to 20. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that once I got off the road that I live on, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Highway was fine. Just full of potholes, so you still couldn't go flying because of course you can't see them because there's just enough snow out that you can't see where
Yeah.
any of
Covered.
that is.
The snow's nice and compacted in there. Just enough to make a bang.
Just enough to bang your tires.
Yeah.
23's got a
It's
really,
bad.
really bad section, and of course it's the section I drive. Drive in the left lane only.
Only. Yes.
Do not get in the right lane. Yeah, I'm one of those people that currently tick everybody off in the left lane. I don't usually drive slow. Today was an exception, but I don't care if you're on my bumper or not. I'm not getting in that right lane. That's not gonna happen
I know what can happen.
till I get
Worse
past
things
that.
will happen over there.
So, and if they go flying around me over there, that's their problem.
Yes, this is true.
So, drive every day, right? I'm a brat on that one. I'm not normally a brat when I drive, but that's one spot that I'm just like,
I
nope,
mean,
not
you
doing
know,
it.
all
No.
it takes is one.
And I have hit a pothole hard enough to screw up a tire. That's not fun.
Mm-mm. It isn't fun at all.
Nope. So we showed really cute chairs.
Yes.
And we showed lots of different things about feet and ankles and highs and lows and
Mm-hmm.
specials.
Specials.
So it's funny, I have my ruler work box that's sitting on top now. So I'm like, one of these
Getting
days,
closer.
I'm going to do like a pot holder size. Got to start
Maybe
small.
it needs to be a placemat size so that you
Okay.
could do like a little box of each of the different ruler shapes.
I could totally do that. Or I could make a pot holder of each of the different
You
ruler
could. I was just
shapes.
going to say one pot holder though is probably not going to do all of the shapes.
I got to start somewhere. But yeah, so if you're my friend, I only have high shank because my machines are high shank, so I don't have any low shank stuff there. But we're it's on the list. Unfortunately, that list is
Mhm.
really long. Samantha called me and asked me to do what?
My
Oh.
iPad wants me to review my purchase.
Is he
Was
sitting
my-
out there buying stuffing?
No, that was the 3D printed.
Oh, that was those. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited to go home and put that underneath. I can't believe they both didn't come at the same
I
time.
wonder. I don't. Nothing shocks
At
me when it
least
comes to
it wasn't
shipping
delivered
anymore.
to like a different Leabu sewing center.
There's that.
Right.
My husband. Nope. The other guy that lives with me. My
Son?
son has a 3D printer. He got it for Christmas a couple years ago. I mean, it's not a massive one,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm wondering if that pattern is out on the internet somewhere that he could.
There's 2 people on Etsy making them. So I don't
It's a
know.
box.
It's a box
I mean, he
with
could totally design it
the
with a little cutout
cutout.
doohickey.
and the little
Yeah,
2
it's
cutouts.
funny because he was so excited and he made a bunch of stuff when he first got it. Now he uses it off and on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, you could totally make money with that, right? You could make things and sell things.
Yeah. I bought
We need to stand up.
I bought a 3D printed thread catcher for my serger. So that's what we were talking about. And I bought mine and I was like, I should buy one for Lisa too. So I bought 2. And they didn't come in at the same
No,
time. So they
'cause that's normal.
right.
Whatever.
But yeah, I was supposed to get I placed another order at Kohl's yesterday. And it's supposed to be delivered today. I'm dying to see if it goes to the neighbor. I bought a new George Foreman grill. It
I
was
have one of those somewhere.
we had a really nice one and it was big.
Mine's not
And
big.
when my dad lived with us, it made perfect sense
Sure.
because my dad had a healthy appetite, and between him and Dave, the small one didn't work. And then when my dad moved out, we bought a small one, and the small one didn't have like buttons like for temperatures. It was just had on.
On.
and
That's what
have
mine's
hated-
just the small
I have hated this one ever since we got it.
comparative to the big one.
Comparatively, yeah,
Sure.
because the other one was nice and you could set the temperature.
Yeah.
This new one is I've been waiting for it to go on sale because I didn't want to pay $200 for it, and so it went on sale half off, and then Kohl's gave me a fantastic 30% off coupon, so
Hey.
I got it for $70. Now the question is going to be, do I actually get it? Is it going to get delivered by UPS to the neighbor today?
Yeah, the neighbor might want that one.
I know. I mean, but he also apparently liked my pillow, so and I'm positive that's where it went. But yeah,
I think Dave needs to threaten him.
right? As I can't
He's
say
a little
that.
afraid of Dave.
Can't say that online. I'll get him in trouble. I'm just joking.
Yeah, it's funny. My husband just looks at people with
Yeah,
an evil eye, and they generally do what he needs them to do.
yeah.
He's got that vibe.
The neighbor's son is a HVAC contractor, and Dave is an inspector here for the city of Wayne. For the city of
You're
Ann
not in
Arbor. I
Wayne
don't live in
anymore?
Wayne anymore.
Nope.
And apparently he recognized him when he went over to the house to look to see if one of our packages was delivered there. And the guy's like, looked at Dave and he's like, "You followed me out here? How bad was it?" And Dave's like, "What?"
What?
And he had his unit. He had his city of Ann Arbor shirt
Shirt
still
on.
on in his hat. So he was like, "Oh no, I'm not.
I just like my mail, please.
I'm just looking for a box." So that's weird. Yeah, it's funny. Anyways.
It's always good to have someone to threaten. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so we hope that helps understand, you know, the importance of that. If you have been contemplating ruler work, it is extremely important. And we're certainly happy to answer questions on that if you guys come up with them. But I think we probably covered
Yeah.
most of that
Everybody's
stuff.
really
So
quiet today.
there's not a lot of commenting, so hopefully that means
It made sense.
it made sense.
Yep.
So thanks for popping in with us a little bit early today.
We
We're gonna
appreciate it.
let Sarah go home.
Thanks.
And
Call
we
me
will-
part timer this week. Slacking on my duties.
thinking Hayden might need to be following you shortly after that.
Yeah,
'cause
it's not going to be a
I
really.
think I can
crazy,
handle. I
busy
think I
day.
can handle anything else that walks in the door.
Yeah. All right, guys.
So again, we appreciate you guys dealing with our adjusted time frame.
Yeah.
So we have no intention of doing this every week. So
No.
the 3:30
was
will
totally a snow
it's
day.
just a snow thing, not a change in the program at all. So appreciate you guys making that adjustment with us, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.